One cold February night in Boston, 60-year-old Lori Coolidge was standing on the icy roof of his fourth-story home with a rope around his waist. His wife, Nancy, was holding onto that rope tightly. Lori was just simply using an axe to clear an ice dam that was causing water to flow through the ceiling. Nancy was thinking, there must be a better way. As Nancy held onto that rope, she realized that she and her husband were getting older, and things they had always done might be getting a little more difficult. But Nancy and Lori, like more than 90% of their fellow Americans, didn't want to leave their home. They wanted to stay in their home and where they had raised their children, and their friends still lived. Nancy found that her friend Susan McMitty Morse felt the same way. They were passionate about staying in their home for the rest of their lives. They were close to the baby boomer generation, the one that protested the status quo, burned bras, and fought for peace. Were they going to wait for the government to create a better way for them to age? Absolutely not. So in 2001, Nancy and Susan and 10 other people, 60 and over, created the nonprofit Beacon Hill Village, a grassroots, self-governing, self-supporting consolidator of services. Created by elders, for elders, the village is about people connecting. The village has 3 simple components. It connects members to vetted, discounted providers for everything and anything they might want and need. It offers members healthy living, exercise classes, yoga, Tai Chi, informal lunches, and stimulating programs, seminars, and trips. Ultimately, the village is about sustaining the power of friendships. Don't you agree? Many of you, like me, have aging parents and grandparents, and we hear that line and we both laugh and cringe. No one wants to put their loved one in a nursing home, and generally, no one wants to go to one. But nursing homes, assisted living, and retirement communities are good options for people who need more medical care or choose to leave their home. But they have limited availability, and they are very expensive, generally. Right now, 78 million baby boomers are starting to retire. Nearly 10,000 people turn 65 every day, a trend that will continue for the next 19 years. Can you imagine the impact on Medicare, Medicaid, and nursing homes? Approximately $200 billion Medicaid dollars are spent on elders every year, and the fastest growing age segment is the 85 and over. More importantly, what is the impact on you, your neighbors, and your parents? It's critical that we create alternatives, and the village gives people that alternative. Our volunteers and providers help with everything from home repairs to transportation, our #1 request, to, and I'm not joking here, cleaning out a chicken for 100 chickens every 6 months. And then there's Deborah, age 78. When she was returning home from the hospital, she called the village. I thought she wanted a ride home. But actually what she wanted was to get her a recommendation on where to get her ears re-pierced because they had closed up in the hospital. And then there are requests like Elliot, age 75, who needed rides 5 days a week for radiation therapy. Newton at Home Village found volunteers for every ride, but equally important to Elliot was the wonderful friends that he made from all the great drivers. Neighbors helping neighbors is a core value of the village experience, and it's a member-driven organization. Older people are the board and the committees of the village. They and the members decide what programs and trips to go on, and we're not just talking about a night at the theater, although we do that also. After Hurricane Katrina, Frank and Penny went to New Orleans, with 10 other Beacon Hill Village members. After about a week, the very grateful homeowner thanked them with homemade jambalaya, lots of tears, and hugs. Villages are gaining momentum. Today, more than 10,000 elders are members of 90 villages in 36 states, and 150 more groups are developing across the country. The movement has spread to Australia, the Netherlands, and Canada, and about 40 other countries have contacted the villages expressing their interest. People from England, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, Costa Rica, Mexico, just to name a few. Villages thrive on a small staff with a lot of volunteers. They're funded by member fees, donations, and foundations. Some villages are looking at government programs to make sure that they can have members of all incomes. But already, some villages provide subsidized programs for low and moderate income members. Villages use the social service and government agencies for elders as resources for their members. And the Village to Village network links all of the villages across the country to share information. Most villages, the age range is from 50 to 104. That's the eldest that we know of so far. And some villages are open to the whole community with a strong focus on intergenerational support and volunteering. Then there's Dorothy Weinstein. For 60 years, Dorothy ran a boarding house for medical students. As she got older, things became a little more difficult. She actually called the village and she said that she had taken to going up the stairs on her bottom. So at age 100, Dorothy called the village and asked for a little help. Beacon Hill Village provided her with companionship, home care services, meals, groceries, and rides. On days she felt well, she joined the lunch group and lectures. Her son, Dorothy's son, worried for her health and safety and thought that it might be time for her to go to a retirement community. But for Dorothy, it would never have been time for her to leave her home. We hear from hundreds of people every month who want to create their own villages. Their children and grandchildren also call. Like many of you, they're watching their loved ones get older and they can't help but ask, what's next? Villages give older people and their caregivers alike that answer. But villages do more than just create services and programs. They provide critical connections that shape our lives and give them meaning. Sarah, a village member, wanted a ride to a friend's funeral. She called the village. They found her a driver who actually happened to be my 24-year-old son, Ben. He picked her up, drove her to the funeral, and thought he would wait in the car. But Sarah actually asked Ben to come in and be her escort. Ben, was a little surprised, but he happily obliged. And later, Sarah said that it made a hard day much more manageable for herself and the others at the funeral. It's kind of amazing that the village idea, which all started with a woman tethered to her husband clearing ice from their roof, has become an international movement that both helps and connects older people across the world. And it's that connection that matters most, because as human beings, we never lose the desire to feel like we belong, like we're in control of our own lives and we're part of something. When it comes right down to it, there's probably nothing that matters more. Thank you.